All right, so it looks like we saw
Douwudouliu.
Douwudouliu here playing Dreaming Fox. We did see that player earlier today versus CoastCity as Kagalichu. I'm just going to say Dow for short. So Dow here with Double Diamond Eye, Sapphire Shard, Bounty of the Magus, Arcane Focus, Eldorathian Glory, and Silver Talon Adjudicator. For CoastCity, see Double Monsagi Coins, a Runar Hierophant, Monsagi Lily Pad, Underworld Crusader, a Blood Shard, and looks like a Acolyte of Shoku, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Both of these very capable hands. Your typical Dreaming Fox hand, which is they have some resources and an arcane focus, so they actually don't care what the rest of their hand looks like. Is interesting to see Bounty of the Magus and Dreaming Fox. That's not the traditional include. I believe both of these players are 5-1 currently walking into this match. By the way, CoastCity again. I mean, I really can't. It's almost started as a joke, but I don't want to understate. There's no bad cards in the Kagalichu deck, right? Like, so some of your opening hands have worse cards for that moment, but more often than not, you are actually just playing good cards with good cards to back them up, and then a splash of good cards. So we're going to see Duo get here with the Sapphire. He's going to hold up 3 resources, likely going to try to get his Bounty of the Magus chain going as early as possible. He's under no real threats here. CoastCity actually running main deck Underworld Crusaders with speed.
Wow.
Which is unusual. We've seen Skyguard and Steadfast in the main deck almost all day. Maybe the Skyguard and the Steadfast is on the Runeers, but that seems unlikely.
Bounty of the Magus finds Psychic Ascension. We'll see a resource here. And Dark Heart of Nolzon, so that's going to target CoastCity's Acolyte of Shoku at the start of this turn.
Yeah, getting Dark Heart down early, really punishing against a lot of decks. It's not as brutal against these Kagalichu decks, which are running a slew of socketed troops to begin with. But we can see in Douwudouliu's hand at least one Eldorathan's Glory, the Silver Talon Adjudicators, the kind of things that'll just clear up the board if they're not handled. Now, that being said, I don't see them being handled anytime soon here. The Dark Heart can't swing in here. Maybe it could have with that Transmogrifate up. Actually, yeah, maybe it could have. So that's actually one thing about the Crusaders that's interesting. Well, it would have got pumped. No, it wouldn't have gotten pumped.
No.
Anyway,
fine, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's one of the things to look at there. It's like, so constantly today I've been misjudging them as 4-cost cards in my head because they're 4/4s with minor sockets. Like that just seems too good to be a 3-drop. But Transmogrifade turns them into 2-drops, which are, I want to say, like 80% mediocre. There's not a lot of 2-drops with 4 attack at the very least. So could have swung in there and potentially punished the opponent.
Wow, this Glory, though, taking care of 2 of CoastCity's troop, does keep the 4/4 Runar Hierophant. The swing for 4 is going to take CoastCity down to 17.
Yeah, so the Glory, a little awkward with the Nulzan already on the board. It's going to be forced to sacrifice itself off. Kagalichu can just hunt things down. Already,
Rotten Rancor on that Gargalith, going to take out the Dark Heart. Now, CoastCity's troops are protected with Spell Shield thanks to Gargalith.
Yeah, that's actually huge. Like, there's no 2 ways around it. I think that might, well, okay. Dark Heart actually changes that away. So there was a moment where that was going to change things and make it really dangerous for CoastCity, but now he's going to be forced to sacrifice the Gargalith. Still, the Runeer has to be answered. It needs to be rune-bound or transmogrifated off the board. And we are just going to see the Seeker get rid of the Dark Heart real quick.
Well, after that hit, CoastCity will take the health lead 17-15 over Dow. Runebind, though, off the top, and that's going to hit that Runar Hierophant. More importantly, when it comes back, it'll be reverted as well. Silver Talon Adjudicator going to draw 2 cards, gain some health.
Yeah, he's looking to push to get to be psychically ascended. I would not be surprised to see the swing into charge power into draw 2 cards. He's actually going to hold back on that. I'm guessing he's holding back because he wants to draw 2 off the Silver Talon Adjudicator, which seems really, really, I don't want to say greedy. It seems really, really, like, hopeful.
Yeah.
You see the Rotten Rancor rip into Gargalith's back, and things are dangerous for Douwudouliu again, who finds a Runebind, but that doesn't help him when he doesn't have targets for it.
Ooh, but Clash of Steel though.
That's good. That's good. This at least forces CoastCity down to just the Gargolith, and the Silver Talon Adjudicators can gain health here pretty quick. Hex Replay says he assumed that he was holding back the draw 2 in case of culmination. Totally fair.
Definitely just going to take this because he can gain the health back with Silver Talon Adjudicator. Cottontail Explorer will come down.
Yeah. Lands a resource. Fentio might touch the board here.
Ooh, Bride also. So here comes Fentio. Runebind, though, going to target that Fentio. It's not actually on the field, so not protected by Spell Shield just yet. So Fentio going to be warded off for at least a few turns or until a resource is drawn. Psychic Ascension. And now the Paragon of Thought can activate. We see Mackerel Mitts, but again, can't target any of CoastCity's troops.
Yeah, Macro Mitts isn't horrible. It's not exactly... Well, no, Macro Mitts can target his troops. Macro Mitts is all targeting troops get minus
Oh, that's
X
right, attacking troops. You're right. You're right. Yeah,
and it has empower.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
But I think, yeah, we actually just saw things slip away really weird. So we see the attack with the Silver Talon Adjudicator. And so here's the thing, is Douwudouliu knew about the Bride. So he was just banking on his opponent not having... well, okay, so he did have counterplay. I thought he just kind of was banking on no blood shard, but the Transmogrifade to create a troop in protection is perfectly viable too.
So cards being drawn into the unknown, not going to be something that can target any of CoastCity's troop. We see replica reinforcements. Silver Talon going to swing in for 3. This will take CoastCity down to 6.
So he's got lethal on board next turn if he can survive. Macro Mitts is going to create a troop and reduce the attack of all attacking cards. It creates a Juggernaut, which has flight. That's horrible.
Oh.
But it's only 6 damage, so CoastCity has to surrender the match. Surrender the game, not the match. Oh, the Macro Mitts.
Mackerel Mitts, coupled with the Paragon to create a troop.
I think there was a little bit of an early concession there. Not a bad one, but had the Gyro not blocked, you would have taken it with, or Annette had died, you would have taken it with the Bride, and then you'd have had a flying blocker. That probably wasn't going to happen, but, let your opponent potentially make a mistake, right?
Great match, though. Great match. And, when you turn it to the Paragon of Thought, there's just so many things that can happen. RNG is a thing, and then when you see the things that happen, just crazy there. And then transmogging his own troop was really great too.
I got to admit, as fun as the Paragon of Thought is to watch, I'm not going to be too sad when it's gone.
Not a fan of Paragon of Thought?
No, it's not that I'm not a fan of Paragon of Thought. It's just like, it seems like a long-winded win condition, and so there's things I don't like about playing it and things I don't like about playing against it. But it is definitely a really fun and exciting card to watch. So
yeah, for sure. All right, so game number 2, we've got Douwudouliu in the lead with 1-0. CoastCity trying to find the win to force a game 3. We see Munsagi Lily Pad, Munsagi Coins, Cottontail Explorer, Exarch of the Egg, Exarch of... Oh, man.
The Egg.
Yeah, Exarch of the Egg, Scorn of Oberon, Mordrum's Gift, and a Yazucan. Over for Douwudouliu, we see a double, looks like Sapphire Ice, Diamond Shard, Runebind, Elrathian Glory, and Guidance, and a Bounty of the Magus.
Yep. Again, keepable hands. Diamond Sapphire has cards, which they want, and shards, which they want. They have Guidance and Arcane Focus, so they have very few unkeepable 7s these days. Douwudouliu on the play. This is not the most thrilling hand I've ever seen, but they do have the Cottontail Explorer, which they're just hoping will hit 1 resource. Like, they really just need that to hit 1 resource or to draw a resource, and then they're really in the game. I think if this doesn't flip a resource, which is low chances, but has happened.
It definitely just happened.
No resource. So I think now CoastCity is punished for his keep. And that sucks a lot because, I mean, we can see Mordrum's Gift, which really helps here. but he is playing behind on an opponent who is playing a deck that lets you play. And you kind of want to have your Underworld Crusaders out as soon as possible in this matchup so that you're at least dealing with them. The top deck Lily Pad helps a lot, especially with the Shin Hair still available. The one other thing that we haven't seen here is CoastCity hasn't shown us a culmination. Like, he has none in his hand. I don't think we saw one in game one. And culmination is really helpful here in this matchup for at least punishing the Sapphire Diamond players for being not necessarily draw-go decks, but the kind of decks that are responsive.
So we'll see guidance from Dal here. Going to go Fate Weave, draw a card. Finds a resource. Into another guidance. And Runebind off the top.
Yeah, double bounty in hand as well. So, you know, it's important to look at this. Every one of those actions played is reducing the cost of the Psychic Ascension, kind of as a secondary effect.
Here comes that swing for 2. He'll take it, only down to 22. Still a one health above CoastCity. His draw. We'll see a Diamond Shard come down, now at 4.
His thresholds are met. Double Diamond, double Sapphire.
Eternal Seeker off the top for CoastCity.
It's not a shard. Every turn that this isn't a shard is worse and worse. Especially because we're going to start seeing the bounties draw. This little pittering of damage really doesn't matter for Dreaming Fox, who starts at what I believe is 600 health. Bounty of Magus finds a resource, which is good.
And Bounty of Magus now increases by 1, so every time he plays a bounty, he'll draw... The next one will draw 2, so we'll see that Sapphire Eyes come down.
Yeah, which is an interesting choice because the other line was Diamond Shard into Glory, which was at least a little bit punished by the Hero Fall. So we know that waiting is the correct choice. 2 more damage coming through. Dreaming Fox down to 18. Some champions start with less.
Bounty for 2. That'll go back in the deck. Escalation will give it +1, so bounties will do 3 draw. Draws a bounty off the top.
And we see the Psychic Ascension. Would not be surprised to see Glory with Runebind protection here.
And Runebind, indeed, targeting the Glory, protecting it from Hero Fall, so the next time Douwudouliu will draw a resource, the Glory will come back into play.
Runebind is such an awesome card. Like, the digital design space that's enabled because of that card is so super cool. Because, like, I mean,
go ahead.
It could happen in paper, but you'd have to reveal every card you drew, which would be weird.
Caglichu finds a Hero Fall to join the one in hand, but no troops on the other side, so no real target.
He did find his resource this turn. I'm maybe hoping to pull another one out of the Caglichu charge power. One more, and he can play Mordrum's Gift, get back an Eternal Seeker. I believe there's one in the crypt. Void out some cards.
Resource will bring back the Glory. He'll play that out now at 7. Does have access to Champion Power as well. Bounties are 4 now. Turn passes over to CoastCity.
Some really powerful bounties. So now you're at the point where your bounties have something like a 30% chance of redrawing a bounty. I think it's higher than that, actually. So this is where bounties basically become, I can draw what I want until I win.
So we'll see Mordrum's Gift. Going to target a troop in CoastCity's crypt. And Bounty the Magus. Going to draw some cards. Hopefully trying to find a response here.
That's a Runebind. Maybe he already had the Runebind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you Runebind this, though?
You could. Gives you another turn to find a counter. You've got Guidance and Focus now. Just because the Spectator client doesn't show us costs on the top, Psychic Ascension is currently at 9 as is. So if you Runebind here, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's hard to do the wrong thing as Douwudouliu here, though.
Yeah.
Like, all of your actions seem okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Eternal Seeker is definitely what's being targeted, though. I'm like almost 90% certain that I saw one early on in the game. Yeah, there it is. That will randomly create a Gallows Ghast, which is pretty sick.
Whoa.
Nice card to hit. Yeah.
What is that socketed with when it's randomly generated? So what sockets are in that Gallows?
Oh, good question. Future Penta Chills. That is also going to randomly create a troop, and it's going to have speed.
Oh, wow. So Transmogrifade going to hit that Eternal Seeker, turn into a random 6-drop.
And not a lot of bad random 6-drops.
Wow. Arcane Focus finds a Dark Heart.
Like, that's good here. That is arguably what Douwudouliu needed. And he does have the Runebind protection here. We can see the Hero Fall in hand. So what CoastCity wants is a shard again. He wants a shard so he can double Hero Fall. He finds the resource, so he wants to Hero Fall the Dark Heart, which will get Runebound in response. And then I believe he wants to Hero Fall it again. He could Death's Head Rider. But I mean, like, Runebind is going to find something anywhere. Hack and Slay is saying the worst 6-drops to hit are Windsinger and Augur of Syrian. There are very few bad 6-drops, and the Draft Chafe isn't even that bad at that point.
So Hero Fall allowed to resolve. Dark Heart will go into the Crypt. The rest will be in the Void.
Yeah. I guess that's a fair play, too. Dreaming Fox has better things to protect here.
And
Theoretically, yeah. Doesn't even need to use the Dreaming Fox Charge Power. It's interesting because he could have used the Dreaming Fox Charge Power to get the Oracle Song and then use the Paragon of Thought Charge Power to also get a random action.
CoastCity at 7. We see Yazukan come down. Unfortunately for him, Douwudouliu has a response in hand. And
yeah, it's probably going to trans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, not many bad 5-drops either. Scrapyard Megatron. Yeah. There's better. That is one of the few 5-drops that I can see getting voided by Glory. That's unfortunate. Randomly creates a Spectral Shielding, Pentachill says, but he isn't actually sure. It is a Spectral Shielding.
It is Spectral Shielding, yeah. Guidance creating a Gust Mage, which creates a Valor. Double Runebind in hand. Clash. Silver Talent Adjudicator. So Douwudouliu in a really good spot here. Back over to CoastCity, finds a Fentio off the top.
Yeah, I don't think it's... So this is the play against Paragon of Thought, right? Is the Paragon of Thought player has basically won. They have 2 Runebinds in hand. They have Clash of Steel, Spectral Shielding, like all of these things. They're just going to generate troops. And we know, looking at CoastCity's hand, that he really just doesn't have an out here. He's not going to be able to get 18 points of damage through. He has to fight his way through 8 Paragon charge powers, and he's probably going to need at least 8 turns to get there, so there's going to be more. And this is not even thinking about the fact that the Bounty of the Maguses have draw 5 on them right now.
So Eternal Seeker attempting to come down. We'll see.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, I'm surprised he even Runebinds it, to be honest with you. He could have let that resolve.
CoastCity with a single Spiderling. He'll use that as a blocker more than likely.
We probably see... Well, no, we probably don't see Clash of Steel here. I was going to say maybe, but... Binding Ire is ripped off at the top, which will prevent at least a Blood or a Wild card from entering play.
That Silver Town Adjudicator will allow him to draw some cards. Finds a Bounty. Bounty will definitely be a good card resource for Douwudouliu.
And we find the power card of all power cards, the Macro Mitts. Spiderling gonna block 5 damage. Douwudouliu back up to 23 health.
That resource will get the Eternal Seeker going. We'll see if it's
Yeah,
able to
maybe.
resolve.
Might get runebound again. At this point, it might get runebound just because that leaves almost enough damage for lethal here on board.
Wow, allowed to be played. He will pick a number. Those cards with
Probably
that
one.
costume on? Yeah, one.
Yeah. Like this is what I was saying the first time it was attempted to be played. Is it's really just like it doesn't really matter at this point. It's a very scary 5/5 flyer. Hero Fall will attempt to be played.
Multiple ways to respond. Confounding Ire is that way. Web Sky generated as a result. So anytime Douwudouliu creates or gains a charge, we'll be able to give minus attack to CoastCity's troops or a troop. Bentio comes down for CoastCity. Attempting to be, at least. It's always interesting when you're playing against a Sapphire player. Like, can I play this card, please? No? Okay.
Yeah. And we can actually see there are player thoughts here. Like, this was a serious match. These players were playing for top 8, so they are giving every play they have thought. Light of Day. Whoops. I looked at the wrong screen. Oh, look, a Light of Day was created randomly and used to destroy the Eternal Invoker. Really just the Golden Avenger, too.
Wow.
So, sometimes you just can't lose. So, yeah, so this is kind of what I mean, is the Paragon of Thought became the Paragon of Thought. It had won the game like 6 turns ago. And I wish I could say that there's a way Kagelisha could get out of this. But they would need to Dementia out the hand and then massacre the board and then put troops onto the board that could win before the opponent found more cards, right? Like this is a very large, weird consequence of things that have to happen before the Paragon of Thought can lose in this situation.
Yeah. And their opponent had to be on 0 resources in that whole scheme of things.
Yeah. Please don't counter my Dementia. Which, at this point, Douwudouliu was never going to pass the turn without that counter up. That Blinding Ire was never going to go, I'll just go all in this turn. Let's see what happens.
Eternal Seeker, going to go ahead and avoid. Bounty, going to draw some cards. Creates a Cyclone Shaper, which also reduces the costs of actions.
Yeah, that actually could be bad, because that means it gets lower cost troops out of it. Maybe we found the answer.
Yeah, maybe that card will change the tide. We see the charge power here, reducing the attack power of the Eternal Seeker. Diamond's Favor. Oh, going to take out the only blocker. And unfortunately for CoastCity, Paragon of Thought just too much here. Spectral Shielding going to buff up as well.
Oh, it shows me saying they have the higher cost on the chain. I'm thinking of something else that reduces the cost that way then. Either way, 24-1, 7 cards versus 4.
Fentio is released from the mysterious rune.
He's gonna find a way to gain speed, activate, draw 3 Tarantulas this turn, and that's not enough. No. Oh, the Eternal Seeker's back! This Eternal Seeker, like, how many times do you get to play 4 Eternal Seekers in a match, and you're like, well, that wasn't enough.
CoastCity, though, with only 1 resource remaining, staring across the board, consisting of the Paragon of Thought leading the way with all the troops here. And that's going to do it. Not enough.
But now, I mean, we can show the top 8, because we've known the top 8 for a while. I do want to point out both of those players make top 8, which is exciting. Douwudouliu and CoastCity both finish in top 8 because of that match.
Yep, so we'll bring up top 8 on the board. Heaton with the undefeated record at 7 wins. Douwudouliu at 6 wins. Mike Moran in number 3. Jeff Hoagland at number 4. Garance Siegfried at number 5. Doom at 6. CoastCity at 7. And Sirius coming in at that number 8 spot. So our top 8. Remember, all players desperately trying to get to the top 4 to be in the money. But interesting match for sure. Matches going up into this. Saw some really cool decks. Saw some really interesting stuff. And now our top 8 players will be battling it out to reach the top 4 and ultimately be crowned this week's HEX Bash champion.